When my father stood up at my college graduation dinner and announced he was giving my twin sister Madison the keys to a brand new BMW, I thought I'd misheard him. Then he slid a crumpled $50 Visa gift card across the table to me. "This should cover gas for a few weeks," he said, not even looking at my face. Madison squealed. She actually squealed, jumping up to hug both our parents while I sat there, the gift card burning a hole in my palm. We'd both graduated summa cum laude. Same GPA. Same honors. I'd even finished my thesis 3 months early. But there she was, getting handed a $40,000 car, and I was holding what amounted to 2 tanks of gas. "Come on, sweetie," my mother said, finally glancing my way. "You've always been so practical. You don't need flashy things. Madison has that internship in the city. She needs reliable transportation." I had a job offer. A real one, not an unpaid internship. Starting salary of $68,000 at a marketing firm in Boston. But no one had asked about that. "Plus," my father added, cutting into his steak, "you've got James now. He'll take care of you." James. My boyfriend of 8 months who still lived with 3 roommates and whose idea of a nice dinner was Chipotle with guac. Don't get me wrong, I loved him. But the assumption that I'd just coast on someone else's success made my jaw clench so hard I thought I'd crack a molar. "Thanks," I said. My voice came out flat, empty. I tucked the gift card into my purse and excused myself to the bathroom. I stared at myself in the mirror, mascara starting to smudge at the corners. This wasn't new. This was the pattern. Madison got the solo at the spring concert when we were 12. I got to hold her sheet music. She got the trip to France for her 16th birthday. I got a used bike from a garage sale. Every milestone, every achievement, there was always an excuse for why she needed more, deserved more, mattered more. I splashed cold water on my face and made a decision right there. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to make a scene. I was just going to win. The next morning, I accepted the job in Boston. I told my parents I'd be moving in 2 weeks. My mother looked surprised. "Boston? That's so far. Why don't you stay here? You could save money living at home for a while." "I'm good," I said. "I've got it figured out." I didn't have it figured out. I had $900 in my checking account, a car with 140,000 miles on it, and a job that didn't start for another month. But I'd eaten ramen for 4 years. I could do it for a few more months. James helped me move into a studio apartment in Allston. It was tiny. The kitchen was basically a hot plate and a mini fridge, but it was mine. I used the $50 gift card to buy groceries. It lasted exactly 1 trip to Trader Joe's. The job was intense. I was the youngest person on the team by at least 5 years, and I worked like I was trying to prove something, because I was. Every email, every presentation, every campaign brief, I treated it like it was the most important thing I'd ever touched. My boss noticed. 3 months in, she assigned me my first solo client. "Don't screw this up, Collins," she said, dropping a folder on my desk. "They're small now, but if we land them, they'll grow. And if they grow, you grow." I didn't screw it up. The client was a startup making sustainable athletic wear. I built them a social media strategy that tripled their Instagram following in 6 weeks. They signed a year-long contract. My boss gave me a bonus $3,000. I'd never seen that much money at once in my life. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell anyone except James, and only because he noticed I'd paid for dinner 3 times in a row. "You're doing really well," he said, squeezing my hand across the table. "I'm doing okay," I corrected. Okay wasn't enough. I wanted to do better than okay. Madison called me every few weeks, usually to complain. The internship wasn't paying her enough to cover her expenses. The BMW needed new tires, and did I know how expensive tires were for luxury cars? Our parents were helping her with rent, but she wished they'd just co-sign a lease for a better apartment. "You're so lucky you don't need their help," she said once. "You've always been the independent one." Independent. Like it was a personality trait I'd chosen, not a survival skill I'd been forced to develop. Year 2, I got promoted. Associate Marketing Manager. $78,000 a year. I moved into a 1-bedroom in Cambridge. I bought myself a used Mazda that didn't leak oil. I started putting 15% of every paycheck into a retirement account because I'd read somewhere that compound interest was basically magic if you started young. Madison moved back home after her internship ended. She couldn't find a job that paid enough to cover her lifestyle. Our parents didn't charge her rent, just until she gets on her feet. My mother explained when I came home for Christmas that year. You understand. I understood. I understood that at 24, I was paying my own rent, utilities, health insurance, and student loans, while my twin sister got to live rent-free in our childhood bedroom, driving a car she hadn't paid a cent for. I also understood that I didn't want their help anymore. Not now. Not ever. Year 3, I landed a major client, a national fitness brand looking to rebrand their entire digital presence. It was the kind of account that could make or break a career. I put together a pitch deck that took me 6 weeks of late nights and cold brew coffee. I practiced my presentation 47 times. When I walked into that conference room, I didn't just pitch them a campaign, I showed them a vision. They signed. 6-figure contract. My boss called me into her office the day the deal closed. You're getting a raise, she said, and a new title, Senior Marketing Manager. $95,000 base, plus commission on any new clients you bring in. $95,000. I was 25 years old, and I was making more money than both my parents combined. I called James first. Then I called my best friend Rachel. I didn't call my parents. They found out anyway. Madison saw something on my LinkedIn and told them. My mother called me the next day. Honey, that's wonderful. Your father and I are so proud. We should celebrate. Why don't you come home this weekend? I'm busy, I said. Next weekend then? I'll check my calendar. I didn't check my calendar. I knew what would happen if I went home. They'd make a big deal about my success for exactly 10 minutes, and then the conversation would shift to Madison. How hard she was trying, how tough the job market was, how I was so lucky things had worked out for me. Luck had nothing to do with it. Year 4, I got headhunted by a competitor. They offered me a director position, $130,000, plus stock options. I took it. I also bought a condo. Nothing crazy, a 2-bedroom in Somerville, but it was mine. I owned property at 26 years old. The day I closed, I posted a picture of my keys on Instagram. Madison commented, "Wow, must be nice." My mother texted, "How much was the down payment? Did James help?" James and I had broken up 2 months earlier. He was a good guy, but he wanted to move slower, save money, travel more. I was building something. We wanted different things. I didn't answer my mother's text. Then, last month, my phone rang at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. My father's name on the screen. He never called me. I almost didn't answer. "We need to talk," he said. "No, hello. No, how are you? What's wrong?" "It's about Madison. She's in some trouble. Financial trouble. Credit cards, mostly. She owes about $30,000. I didn't say anything. "We've been helping her, but we've tapped out our savings. Your mother and I were hoping since you're doing so well, maybe you could loan her some money, just until she gets back on her feet." Loan her money. My twin sister, who got the BMW, the rent-free living, the constant safety net, was now drowning in credit card debt, and they wanted me, the daughter who got a $50 gift card at her college graduation, to bail her out. "How much were you thinking?" I asked. "Maybe 15,000? We know it's a lot, but you've got that fancy job in the condo. You can afford it." Something cold settled in my chest. "You're right. I can afford it." My father exhaled. "Thank God. Your mother was so worried. But I'm not going to do it." Silence. "Excuse me? I'm not loaning Madison money. Not 15,000. Not $15. Not 15 cents. She's your sister. We're family. Family helps each other." "You're absolutely right," I said. My voice was calm, steady. Family does help each other. "So I'd love to know, where was that energy 4 years ago when I was eating 99-cent ramen and sleeping on an air mattress because I couldn't afford a real bed? Where was the family help when I had to choose between fixing my car's transmission and paying my health insurance premium? That's different. You were fine. You didn't ask for help." I shouldn't have had to ask. Madison didn't ask for a $40,000 car. She just got it. "We gave you a gift card," my mother said. She'd picked up another phone. "We tried to help. You gave me $50 and a lecture about being practical. You gave Madison a BMW and told her she deserved it. You don't understand," my father said. "Madison struggles more than you. She needs more support. No, Dad. Madison was given more support. There's a difference. She never learned to struggle because you never let her. You built her a safety net so thick she never had to worry about falling. And me? You handed me a $50 gift card and told me to figure it out. So I did. I figured it out. So you're just going to let your sister drown? I'm going to let her learn to swim, the same way I did, alone. My mother started crying. How can you be so cruel after everything we've done for you? Everything you've done for me? I laughed. It came out sharp, bitter. You gave me a gift card, Mom, one time, 4 years ago. Everything else? The job, the condo, the savings account, the retirement fund, the career I built that, by myself, with no help from either of you. We raised you, my father said. We put a roof over your head. We paid for your college. You paid for Madison's college too, and her car, and her rent, and her phone bill, and now you want to pay off her credit cards with my money? No, absolutely not. So that's it? You're just going to abandon your family? I looked around my living room, the couch I'd saved 3 months to buy, the coffee table I'd found at an estate sale and refinished myself, the framed photo of me and Rachel at my condo closing, both of us holding champagne and grinning like idiots. I'm not abandoning anyone, I said quietly. You abandoned me 4 years ago when you decided Madison was worth more than me. You made your choice. I made mine. We're both living with the consequences. I hung up. They called back. 6 times. I didn't answer. My mother left a voicemail calling me selfish. My father sent a text saying I'd regret this. Madison sent a long, rambling message about how I'd changed, how money had made me cold, how I wasn't the sister she used to know. She was right. I wasn't that sister anymore. That sister would have said yes. That sister would have drained her savings account and handed over $15,000 with a smile, just to prove she was good enough, kind enough, worth loving. But that sister was gone. She died somewhere between the $50 gift card and the 6-figure salary, between the ramen dinners and the condo closing, between being told she was too practical to deserve nice things and realizing she was strong enough to get them herself. This morning, I got a call from an unknown number. I answered out of curiosity. Is this Natalie Collins? A woman's voice. Professional. Yes? This is Jennifer Hastings from Venture Peak Capital. We've been following your work in the marketing space, and we'd like to discuss a potential opportunity. We're looking for a VP of marketing for our portfolio companies. The compensation package starts at $250,000 plus equity. Would you be interested in a conversation? I stared at my reflection in my laptop screen. 27 years old, 7-figure net worth trajectory, VP offer from a venture capital firm. Yes, I said. I'd be very interested. After the call ended, I pulled out my wallet. The $50 Visa gift card was still there, tucked behind my driver's license. I'd kept it all these years as a reminder. A little piece of paper that said, "This is what they thought you were worth." I took it out and looked at it. The edges were worn soft from 4 years of being carried around. The magnetic strip was probably dead by now. I tore it in half, then in half again, and again, until it was just confetti in my palm. Then I opened my window and let the wind take it. They thought $50 was enough. They thought I'd always be the practical one, the one who didn't need flashy things, the one who'd be fine with less because I'd always been fine with less. They were wrong. I didn't need their BMW. I didn't need their safety net. I didn't need them to believe in me. I just needed them to underestimate me long enough for me to build something they could never take away. And I did.